Hi everyone, today we are learning how to use the area model to solve larger multiplication problems. Now the area model is something new for everyone. It is also sometimes called the grid method or the box method. The area model is a way that we represent multiplication using a picture. So in the area model, the length and the width of a rectangle represents the factors and the area of the rectangle represents the product. So we're going to begin with solving a problem together. Today we're going to just focus on 2 by 2 digit problems, as this method can sometimes be confusing just to begin with. So our first problem is 16 multiplied by 27. Our first step is to break up our numbers into the tens and the ones. So if we have a look at 16, 16 is the same as saying 10 plus 6. So we're going to represent that using a diagram. So for the length over here, represents 10. And then the next part, I'm just going to use different colours just so you can see at the beginning. I've got 10 plus 6. And I'm just doing my tens line a little bit longer because that's a larger value. And then my ones a bit smaller. So I've got 10 plus 6 to represent 16. And then 27 if we break that up into our place value parts is 20 and 7. And as you can see here, it becomes a rectangle to represent our multiplication problem. So we divide it up into its parts. And this way, this equation and any larger problem gets broken down into small achievable parts for us to solve and get our product. So here, I'm going to put the multiplication sign here. So we meet our numbers up together. So we've got 20 and 10, that would meet with the product in this box. 7 and 10 in this box. 20 and 6 in this box. And then 7 and 6. So first of all, I'm going to begin with our tens value. So we've got 10 multiplied by 20. So remembering when we're multiplying anything with 0 at the end, we can take our zeros off. So I'm going to think as 1 multiplied by 2, which I know is 2, and then we add our zeros at the end. So there's a 0 in each number, so that means I need to add 2 zeros on. So 10 multiplied by 20 is 200. I'm then going to do 10 multiplied by 7, which is 70. 2 multiplied by 6 is 12, and I need to then add that 0 on. And then 6 multiplied by 7, which I can skip count. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. So now we've broken our equation up and we've solved the different parts. Now what we need to do to get the overall product of our first problem is we need to add all these values together. So I'm going to use vertical addition. So 200 plus 120, 70 and 42. Making sure that I'm showing all my working out. So add our ones column is 2, our tens column, 7 and 2 is 9, and 4 is 13. Rename, put our 3 tens down, carry our 100, and add our hundreds column, which is 4. So the product of 16 multiplied by 27 is 432. It's a really good way because we're partitioning our problem into small parts to get our overall product. And we can clearly see here with our diagram using this picture all the parts that we need to solve. Let's try another one. So this method, you can solve larger problems, and it can be 3-digit, 4-digit. You would just have an extra part in your picture when drawing your area model. So we'll try a little bit of a higher number. 82 multiplied by 67. So our first thing we need to think about is partitioning our numbers down. So drawing my model across the top. So I've got, if I'm breaking 82 down, it's 80 plus 2. I'm just going to draw that line to break that up. I'll have my multiplication sign in the middle. Now, sometimes you can use the tiny little grid paper to represent this, and people actually count 8 across and then 2 across. But in our maths books, we've got the larger grid, so it's not going to work for us. So we don't need to be precise with counting 80 squares across and then 2 across. If you roughly just do, like I said, make your tens value line longer than your ones, it's still really a clear picture representation. So 67 is made up of 60 and 7. So I'll join our rectangle up, so we have 4 parts. So first thing, I'm going to multiply our tens value. Remembering the trick, I'm just going to forget about the zeros and multiply 8 by 6. So I'm going to use my 8 skip counting knowledge. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. So 48, but I need to add my zeros. So however many zeros there were in the equation, I need to add on to the end. So 80 multiplied by 60 is 4,800. Then 80 multiplied by 7, I'm going to forget about that 0 and do 8 multiplied by 7. Now I knew 8 multiplied by 6 was 48, so I'm just going to skip count on 2 more. So 48, 56, and 64. Now I need to add that 0 onto the end. Now 6 multiplied by 2 is 12, add my 0, 120. 2 multiplied by 7 is 14. So you can see here we've got 4 different parts, and if I was just to shade this in so you could see all the different parts, these, see the link. So you carefully line those numbers up. I'm just doing these colors so you can clearly see how the equation is represented. Now, this is just our first step. We haven't finished here. We need to make sure that we're adding all these values together to get the overall product. So 4,800, 120, 640, 14. This is a really good process as well, because you're not only practicing your multiplication, but you're also practicing your addition, and it's that 2-step process as well. So it's really challenging. So adding our ones, 4, 2, 4 and 1 is 7. Our hundreds column, 8 and 1 is 9, plus 6 is 15. We rename it to 500s and 1000s and add our thousands column, which is 5. So our product of 82 multiplied by 67 is 5,574. Have a go at those questions, guys. Make sure that you're clearly representing your picture with your rectangle and, lining up the values at the top along the lengthways to get the correct product.